Nope. Yeah, I forgot to hit record, so I'm going to use Schmixie's footage. Thank you, Jared, for your things. I can't believe I forgot to hit record. I don't know what I was doing. Here it is. Have a good one, guys. Hey, it's Big Bigfoot.
Hey, it's Schmix, and you're listening to
The Third Floor.
So, Nick, how are you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm pretty wired. I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty good, and I'm ready to start this podcast.
Nice.
I'm in a good mood, good spirits. Honestly, can't complain.
Right on.
Yeah, dude. How you doing?
Doing good. Better than last week. Sorry, everybody. I was sick. We could have done it, but it would have been just coughing and sneezing the whole time, so it probably wouldn't have been that fun to listen to. So that would wait till this week.
It would have been a little bit upsetting for you. That's for sure. You'd be like, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
That sucks.
But I'm doing better today. School starts tomorrow, so I'm just kind of enjoying every moment of not school right now. I'm looking forward to being back. Don't get me wrong, but I'm ready to do the podcast too. We got quite a bit to go over.
We got lots.
But I did want to start by plugging Nick's YouTube channel. If you watch my channel on the Schmixie channel, I really suggest you go check out Tweak Bigfoot's channel. It's actually down in the description below, and it's been in the description for each of the Third Floor podcasts that we have. He does a lot of interesting stuff, a lot more variety. He's got Fallout stuff, Animal Crossing, and just as of lately, he's been doing a Detroit Become Human series. He's on episode 3. That's the newest one. I'm going to watch it tonight, and it's actually really interesting. I told him that it feels like I'm watching a movie with friends, but then I realized, oh, no, they're playing it. So it's, if you like Heavy Rain or you like those kind of games where it's very more of an interactive visual experience, it's a really cool game. So go check out his videos, and it's a pretty cool playlist to watch. So go check that out, man.
Dude, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if you're on my channel, you can check out Schmixie on Twitch. You haven't been doing a ton of YouTube stuff lately, so Twitch. He needs 3 more followers to affiliate, so let's get him there. Let's get 3 more. Bada boom.
Then we can have greasy emotes and
I can sub to him.
Sub badges and all that bull crap.
I'm gonna sub to you immediately.
Thanks, man.
Day one.
I actually subbed to Julian. He actually said he was gonna watch last episode. So shout out to Julian, Carton Boy 13 on Twitch. If you haven't followed him yet, go follow him and sub. He's actually growing really quick. He plays a lot of FIFA. Yeah. And Nick and I, we used to play FIFA, but we sucked compared to Julian, man. Julian grinds.
That would not even a question, dude. We sucked.
Yeah, like we could both go against him and there'd be no chance.
And lose. So. It would be awful.
Yeah, so Carton Boy 13 on Twitch as well. Check him out. And if you're listening, Julian, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yeah, dude, welcome. There you go. All the plugs.
All the plugs are out, yeah. All the plugs are out of the boat.
Yeah, dude, they're all everywhere. All right, we got a lot on the docket today. We got like nostalgia, rumored pricing for consoles, some COD stuff teaser. Like lots to talk about. But nostalgia, I'm stoked for that. We have so many thoughts on that. I'll let you take the first point, but like nostalgia, what do you think is a positive for nostalgia?
Yeah, there's a few positive points. I think the main thing for me would be literally the feeling. Maybe I'm a drug addict, but I love the feeling of dopamine coming in when it's like you're re-experiencing something. Like for example, when I think of playing Pokemon and going back and just replaying even Fire Red, which isn't even the original, like it's not even Pokemon Red, but Pokemon Fire Red, I still hear the music and I think, oh man, like it's going through that really cruddy cave where like if you don't have Flash,
Mount Moon.
Yeah, like the one, if you don't have Flash, you're just screwed. It just sucks. And I remember my first playthrough, I was dumb. I was a kid and I didn't have Flash. So I tried to go through there and it was just this tedious thing. But now I try to do it on purpose. I don't know why, but I think for me, one of the biggest things is just the feeling, like the actual excitement and like the dopamine, I guess it would be. It just feels so good. So, I mean, that's the main thing for me. But obviously, there's a lot of different ways of looking at nostalgia. So Nick, what's your favorite part of nostalgia?
Yeah, honestly, like I'm gonna go back to retro games. Like I played Super Nintendo, PS1, PS2, like a lot of old stuff before I got a modern console. So like I think of old games, like I think of like Final Fantasy 9 I played as a kid, or like weird games like Spyro or the original Crash Bandicoot on the PS1. I played all those, so to play them again later in life is really cool for me. It's like for me, nostalgia is like an old game that doesn't even have to be remastered. It's just like, I can play like Final Fantasy 9. Like I said, that's on my Switch. It's not even remastered. They just like took it, put it on the console. There's like lines on the side of the
Yeah.
screen. I didn't care.
But
It's
you're
just nice to
playing it
play.
as it was.
It's nice to play that
So,
game again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I actually agree. Sometimes remasters and remakes, they don't actually give me as much as if I actually played the game itself. Like, if they remastered Metroid Prime, I would probably rather just play Metroid Prime, just the
yeah.
way Metroid Prime is in its current state. So I think that's a good point. It's just the feeling of playing an old game for what it is, especially retro games. When you go past 5 years or 10 years, get right back down to your childhood. It's kind of, maybe it's because we were forming, maybe we could study the psychology of it, but I'm sure there's something deep down about it that it triggers some happy memories. And some, I mean, there are scary memories too. Like I remember playing like Amnesia and all sorts of games from like, half a decade, well, more than half a decade ago. It just scares the crap out of me. So, I mean, there can be negative feelings towards it too.
Yeah, right.
But one example I wanted to give is World of Warcraft Classic. So people that wanted the WoW experience to kind of relive it, pre-DLC and all the different add-ons, and just go back to how it started. Yeah, people like you. I can't say I know much about WoW, honestly, so I just look at it as a spectator. And I watch streams, and I saw the excitement of people on Twitch playing WoW Classic again. And I don't really understand a lot of it, but what I do understand is that it's bringing players that haven't been able to play this experience and bring them with veterans that already have played it, so the veterans can feel good, the new players can have a new experience, and it's overall a really good way of companies getting people attached with nostalgia, using nostalgia in a good way to get people playing the game. So what's your thoughts on WoW Classic?
Well, here's the thing with WoW Classic. I was trying to look it up on Twitch and see how many people are playing it, but I can't find it. WoW Classic for me, it's like my favorite World of Warcraft period is actually like Wrath of the Lich King, so it's 2 expansions in. I have played the like original base game before. I like it. I think it's super sick. I love when they redo it to like what someone wants. So for me, the nostalgic part would be that Wrath of the Lich King. But for people that are old school, like in the guild I was in for WoW, I think everyone there is probably done playing now because they didn't like the changes. They're like, we like the original game, and they still played and kept up with it. I bailed out because I don't like the changes anymore. I want like the story's cool. I want to go back to when I wasn't having to do all this extra grindy crap. Like, yes, WoW is a grind game, but like take me back to the time where it was like I knew what I was grinding for. I'm not grinding for like a loot box to potentially get an item. I want to grind for reputation, and I know it's going to grind up, or like something like that. So for WoW Classic, for some people, that's like, I want in on this game. Like, this is what I remember. It's going to be, I know it's going to be at the end. I know it's coming, and I want to relive that from 16 years ago. It's been out for about a year, so 15 years ago. Like, I really like that they did that. I think it's a killer move, and I hope they follow suit with like Burning Crusade. Just put a server that's just Burning Crusade and Classic, and then Wrath of the Lich King and Classic, because you'll get an old player like me to get back into it. Like if Wrath of the Lich King dropped tomorrow as a server, I would buy it. I would pay $15 a month as long as my computer could run it, and I would play it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a market for it for sure.
Yeah. Well, and so, okay, here's a question. Do you think it's important that they didn't really upgrade the graphics that much or make it visually that much different? They kind of kept it the way it was when it first came out. Like, is that a pretty important part for a player like you?
I would say so. And I actually have a point on this in a little bit, but I would say so because, like, yeah, you can get it in like, 4K with all this uncapped 120 frames, whatever you want. But like, that's not what I want. Like, as someone that played WoW, I want this like 1080p, sometimes chalky frame. Like, give me just what it was. Give me the base. And they're actually doing that with changing the topic a little bit, but they're doing it with Mario ports that are coming out. They're porting Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy all to the Switch, and literally all they're doing is making it so it's 16:9. So like Mario 64 isn't 16:9, but it's about to be. And I think it's important that they leave it. They're not redoing the graphics. They're not upgrading it. They're just like, okay, let's port it, make the frame aspect or the aspect ratio bigger. That's it.
Like, are they even adjusting the frame rate, or is it still going to be like 30 FPS?
It might be going to 60.
Oh, okay.
But I have to watch the direct again. But like, the graphics they're still going to be N64 graphics.
Okay.
And I think it's really important because that's how I played Mario 64 forever.
Yep.
And I'm going to buy that 3-pack of games because it comes in like a collection and because it's nostalgic to me.
Yeah. No, it's well, and I would say that's another good use of nostalgia to not, like, I'm not going to say remasters are all bad. I'm not in that camp. I just think that a lot of the time there's too much emphasis on graphic fidelity and frame rate when it's more about the experience.
Yep.
Like, I don't play Fire Red, I don't play Metroid Prime, I don't
No.
play uh, Wario Land 4. I don't
Oh,
play these
yeah.
silly games because they look good. I'm
Mhm.
playing them because the music's cool and because the characters are weird and goofy, and
Yep.
the way that you can feel a part of the environment, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
I want to, yeah, I want to play it the way it was. So I can totally understand why WoW Classic was a success, because it didn't honestly look that much different from when it
No,
launched way
I don't.
back.
I didn't play the redid servers, but I don't think it is different that much. It might be a little bit better, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I used to play WoW private servers, and I played just classic servers that were like the base game. And from the screen caps I've seen from the private servers I played to that, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think it's important.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, I kind of assumed that, but I wanted to ask, and helps our viewers understand a bit more
yeah.
of your connection to WoW, because I don't have that much connection to it. I only see it as a spectator, but you actually had the experience.
I
So
love WoW. Even when the Mythic Invitational for Dungeons and Arenas comes around, I still watch them sometimes. Like I try and tune in on it if I'm free because I like to watch it. It's just a cool thing for me. I love the lore, I read the
mhm.
books. That's a topic for another video. I love WoW.
Yeah,
Oh,
wow.
so good.
I can see why people get into it. Like, did you like the movie, or was the movie pretty cheese?
I liked it. It's pretty cheese. It's like
Okay.
it's good. It's like a third retelling of the same story. So there's the
Oh,
original
okay.
telling, and then there's like the other retelling in Warlords of Draenor, which kind of retells it, and then there's that, and it's like
Hmm.
the same story, but they're all told a little different. I like it because it's just a World of Warcraft movie.
Yeah.
It's not spectacular.
Like, if World of Warcraft didn't exist, it's not like this movie would be amazing.
It would
But it's
tank.
more because it's tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of similar to Halo. Like, for me, the Halo TV shows that have come out, and even the movies and the short films in Halo Origins, or so what is it called? Whatever that DVD collection is, where there's a bunch of different animated ones. They're cool, but
What's that?
like
Not too
outside
sure.
of Halo, they're not that cool. Like, um, it wouldn't be a good action movie if you
Mhm.
didn't understand Halo already.
Yeah,
So I feel like that's movie tie-ins and TV shows of video games. That's kind of what you get,
kind of what you get. Yeah,
but oh
but like I
well.
like them.
There is
Uh,
actually a new Halo TV show coming out. They're spending a lot of time on it, but
ooh.
thankfully there's an actual team for that. It's not like
Mhm.
Halo Infinite's being slowed down because of that. There's a big, in other recent news, there's a big controversy about, oh, is the TV show slowing down Halo Infinite? But no, it's two
Mhm.
totally different teams. So don't worry, if your video game of choice is being made into a movie, it's probably not going to slow down the next year's release, because they're
Hopefully
probably going to
not.
have a team doing that. They're not going to send some programmer that sits behind a screen all day to go be,
An
uh,
animator. Go
yeah,
animate this movie.
yeah. So I mean, you don't have to worry about that. So Julian, if they plan on making FIFA like a real life thing, I don't know how they could do that. Can you imagine real life soccer?
Dude, oh man, dude,
What?
literally you and me, we kick into the roof. Like,
Yeah.
no, you're telling me
Yeah,
people would
dude.
actually play that game for
Yeah,
80
like in
minutes,
real life on
90 minutes?
grass. Yeah,
No,
that's crazy.
no, dude, concrete only. Come on.
Yeah, dude.
Here's a question for you then. So, would you say then like graphics and like new additions don't have to be upgraded for it to be like a port or a remaster? Like, if they were to remaster Metroid Prime, and they're like, okay, Jared, all we're gonna do is move it from the Game Boy to the Switch. Nothing's changing. Would you
As long
call
as they
that?
call it a port. If they say
Mhm.
we're porting this game, I'd be like, cool, they're porting this game. Uh, what pisses me off is when people say, oh, we're going to remaster it. Oh,
Yeah.
really? You're going to remaster it? And then they barely touch the graphics. They just up the frame rate and say we remaster it. No, you didn't. You ported
No,
it.
you didn't do it.
That was a big debacle with the MCC. Was, is it a port or is it a remaster? And it's still kind of a fuzzy line, because Halo 3, like literally this last weekend, I watched a Halo 3 tournament. That
Was it the
game came
Shad
out in
one?
2007. Uh, no, this was like the MCC Pro Series. So this is
Oh,
like
okay.
the best of the best.
Nice.
So this Pro Series is going on. They're playing a game that's 13 years old, and it's in 4K. It's 60
Mhm.
FPS on console. It's unlimited, uncapped frame rate on PC, which is the standard now. Everyone's playing on PC with a
Yeah.
controller, and it's weird to me that it's kind of this gray area. Did it really get remastered? No. Does it look a
No.
lot better and perform better? Is the hit registration being changed literally this month? Yes. So it's like this gray area of almost like a live service thing, where we don't really know what a remaster is anymore. So as much as
Right.
we want to use nostalgia to feed our love for a game that's 13 years old, like like Halo 3, we still don't really know if it's a remaster. It's just kind of in this
Right.
gray area.
Which is interesting to me because I would call it a remaster, but I don't play them religiously. So I'm like, I feel like it's not a remaster until it gets updated graphics. At that point, I think, okay, it might be a remaster.
Like Halo 2.
Yeah,
like
Halo 2.
Like where you can switch between Halo 2 Classic and Halo 2 Anniversary just with one button on your controller, and it'll switch between the two if you're playing campaign.
Which
to
is
me,
sick.
that's a remaster, and there's no gray line. It's like there's the port, which is Halo 2 Classic. Sorry, excuse me, I keep burping. I'm drinking too much beer here. And then you switch that on to Halo 2 Anniversary, and you can see a clear difference. So you can see here's the port, here's the remaster. Whereas Halo 3 doesn't have that. It just keeps getting better. So kind of it's so I don't know. It's just gray area. Is there a game that you can think of like that for you that you play a lot that like it's almost live servicey? It just keeps getting better, but it never really got remastered.
No, not live servicey.
Okay.
No, not that I can think of. Also, I'm gonna make a quick side note that only I notice. See this dot up here in my window? Nope, it's over. My camera's reversed. See the dot in my window?
Yeah.
That's a spider.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. It's just huge.
Is it on the outside or inside?
It's on the outside. I'd move if it's on the inside.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. If it's on the inside,
move.
I'm surprised you're still sitting there.
No, it's just
So
huge.
you're
It's
good?
been bugging
You're
me the
okay?
whole I'm fine. It's been bugging me. I just want people to know it's a huge ass spider.
Okay.
No, a game that I play that's like not been remastered. No.
Okay.
But I can think of good remasters, but none that I'm currently playing.
Because like those would, to me at least, those would fit the criteria for myself of something that's going to feed into nostalgia, where they say they're going to remaster it. They make the graphics look better. Like maybe it was a game that came out in like 720, and then they're like, hey, let's make it 4K. It was in 30 FPS, now let's make it 60 FPS. Like Halo Reach, for instance. They didn't call it a remaster, which kind of bugs me because I don't really know exactly, but it's like a really good port. So that's maybe that's the question: is nostalgia a good thing because we don't know whether it's a port or a remaster? So yeah, maybe there's more questions I have than answers, but I find that nostalgia is usually good. But I do want to move on to the bad parts of it.
Yeah.
You mentioned a really good thing right off the bat. What are some bad implementations of using our nostalgia against us?
Honestly, so like bad things would be like redoing maps in COD. Like that's a piss off. And then making them worse. Or like doing say they remaster Halo 2 and like, okay, we're gonna remaster or Halo 3. We're gonna remaster it and we'll add these 15 things, and all of the 15 things are negatives or like microtransactions or something crappy. Like don't give me that. If you're gonna remaster a game, give it to me remaster. I want new graphics, like up to date, and that's it. Or like and fix bugs, you know? Or like the bad thing, it's like a game that is nostalgic for both of us and we still play to this day is Skyrim. That's nostalgic for me, even though I play it all the time.
Yeah.
But
because nostalgia doesn't even have to be that old. Because that game is 9 years old, and we'd still consider that like a classic. Because I guess we're boomers, but
okay, boomer.
Yeah,
but I'd say we are. But yeah, like that's like that's a really I think a good example of like a game that they just keep like, oh, let's just remaster it again. Let's just keep remastering it. Let's keep doing it. People will buy it, and like that I think is a bad example or a good example of a bad thing.
Yeah, and like we've said many times before, it turns into that console seller like, oh, PS5's coming out. How would you like to experience Skyrim again in 4K? Like it, to me, it just kind of turns into using nostalgia to resell the same thing that they could have played before.
Yeah,
just it's barely better.
Yeah, barely better.
But
like quickly, it's like the COD maps. Like that's a bad thing. Like we talked about right before this podcast. We were trying to count how many original maps in Black Ops 4, and it was like I think it's like 7 or 8. And then a lot of remasters that are like Summit, okay, that's great. Jungle, it's great. Jungle Flooded, it's not good. It's Jungle, but it's just flooded and it sucks.
Yeah, and
terrible map.
I have to agree that like Black Ops 4 is a game we play a lot of. Like we'll still end up playing it, and every time we get Jungle, it's not a big problem. But when we get Jungle Flooded, it's like, why does this exist? Why do we have to have a map where the only thing added to it is water water.
Yeah.
That's it. The only thing that's different about the entire map is that you have to swim underwater and get shot in this murky, soupy water. Like,
I'm getting
it's so
PTSD.
lame. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and like that's not, that doesn't accomplish anything, because if nostalgia is supposed to be the feeling of what we used to experience, you're just it's like you're literally raining on the parade because now there's a bunch of
Yeah.
water there. So it's kind of taking nostalgia and using it in a way that's just, it's not appealing, or at least to
No.
us. I think it's just junk.
I hate it. I hate that map. It's the worst Call of Duty map I've ever played in my life.
It's frustrating.
Yep. So I'll serve that back to you though. What do you think are some bad examples of like, or good examples of bad remasters? Ports?
No, I know what you
You know
mean.
what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I have written down a couple things, but the thing that sticks out again, I hate having to go here again, but Destiny 2. Newsflash for everyone: if you don't know what
Shove some more
sunsetting
crap
is,
on that.
yeah, yeah. So sunsetting, it's this politically correct term. It's this way of saying, hey, there's a bunch of weapons that are definitely not going to work in this new meta we're going to make, so we're just going to throw it in the old vault here, and maybe we'll pull them out later, but for the time being, all those things you worked hard to get and all those exotics are useless now. So you'll have to grind for them in another season when we open them up as a DLC thing. So that's what sunsetting is. They're going to do that. They're going to take away not just guns, armor, different types of like cosmetic stuff. They're also going to take away destinations, planets like Titan, for example. That whole planet will be gone. I guess it's a moon, but Titan as a destination will be gone, and that'll be in the vault. It's not gone forever, but it'll come back eventually. But you know what they're replacing it with is a bunch of stuff from D1, a bunch of Destiny 1 content. So, good, we can play Vault of Glass. I think that is so stupid, because if I want to play that raid, I would go play it right now. I don't have to wait for Beyond Light to come out. I could do it right now.
Yeah.
And that's what pisses me off, is they're replacing new content, or at least content that was a part of Destiny 2 and a part of the universe that we know Destiny 2 as. They're going to take that out and add a bunch of stuff from an old game and make it look slightly better and tell us it's new content that we should pay for.
No.
That really bugs me. That's where nostalgia, in fact, it's one of the main reasons I wanted to bring this topic up, is because it's using it in a way that's contrary to how I want it to be used. And I would say most people as well. I don't think people are happy with sunsetting. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Nick? What do you think of like repackaging old stuff, putting it in a new game, and then saying, well, here, this will feed your nostalgia?
What I think they should do, especially for like D2, is like, if you want to use like, I don't know, tractor cannons, I don't know if that's going away or not, or if you want to use like the sweet business, right? Make a friggin' PvE and a PvP playlist where all that crap's acceptable. Like, I love those weapons. I have them both. So if I want to use those, don't make them unusable. Make them like, oh, if you really just want to grind PvP with that, go do that. Like, kind of like they have like Super Fiesta. You know,
I've listened to a lot of Destiny 2 YouTubers, and I've never heard one of them bring up that idea.
Really?
Maybe they have, and I haven't heard it, but like that's so smart, Nick. And I'm not pumping your tires up. Like, how have people not thought of that? Just have a playlist where it's like anything goes. Like a very social playlist. Don't make it competitive. Don't have a rank, but just say, hey, you can use whatever crap you want from your vault. You can bring it in exotic or not.
Well, you
should be a Destiny YouTuber, man.
Thanks.
You'd show them how to do it, man.
I have to stop shitting on that game first. But like,
that's what they do too. You'd fit right in, man.
I'll give it a shot. I'll make a DT video. But like, for example, so games like Hearthstone, like pretty much any card game, Hearthstone, Magic, they have like what's called wild, or like Magic's got like open or constructed, expanded. Mark would know. It's like old things. Like in Hearthstone, if you want to use any old card that's now in the last 2 years, you just go to wild mode. Literally, like, wild mode has broken crap because it's like this combo that shouldn't work but does now because of these cards that are newer works. But if that's what you want to play, it's a separate mode, completely different rank ladder, completely different like everything. Okay, so it's like, go to this mode where they have old crap, and like if that's your jam, like I literally think of Super Fiesta, in Halo 5, when it's just, or Halo in general, it's just like everyone's got stupid weapons and you die and get new weapons. That's what I picked the playlist as. Like, everyone's got a tractor cannon because that's what they're using.
Yeah, and it's not like pros can complain about Super Fiesta. Like if because then don't play it. Go and play Team Arena, where ground pound's taken out and there's no more Spartan charge and all you get is a Magnum. Do it. And that's what I do, because I end up sweating more. But then when I want to have fun with friends, and I'm just
Super Fiesta,
dicking around. Yeah, we'll play some Super Fiesta.
right?
So
And
the fact that Destiny 2 can't even think of something that simple, like
Mhm.
literally we're sitting here and we're not even like hardcore Destiny 2 players.
no,
And you can come up with like, hey,
it's a
just have a
simple
playlist where you
concept.
allow everything.
Yeah,
Like
because
just
like
have every weapon you want.
we've spent, I was gonna say hundreds. We spent probably 50, maybe 100 hours playing Destiny 2. I have maybe 100. You've
Uh,
got more than that.
I think I've got quite a few days, like
Okay.
probably around 30 days. Not
Um,
gonna lie.
okay. I probably have more than I think, but like
I
I'll say
think you do.
5 days or less. Like it's not, or sorry, like
Yeah,
10
you
days or
probably
less.
have at least 10 days.
Yeah. Where it's like I've got all this old stuff I grinded for. Like I have a fully masterworked hand cannon. Oh boy. I don't remember. Super
We can
good
never
though.
think of hand cannon names. Last time we tried
No.
to, I couldn't even think of
No.
spare rations, which is like the
Spare
most like
rations.
typical. But yeah.
Devils something.
Oh,
Better Devils. I have a
Better
fully
Devils.
masterworked Better Devils, and like it's just gonna go bye bye. Like I can't use it anymore.
I don't know about Better Devils. That's the problem.
Okay.
I don't know actually which weapons specifically
Right.
are getting sunsetted. But like, um, I
To
think like
knock out
Luna's
planets.
Howl is one of them.
Really?
And I think so. And it's like because they're pinnacle weapons, and the problem is they're not exotic, but they're
Mhm.
legendary. So we call them pinnacle weapons because they're the highest you can be as a
Yeah, that's a
purple.
top weapon.
And so these purple weapons, they're not going to fit in with the new meta that
Nope.
Beyond Light's going to have, apparently. And that sucks. Like that sucks for someone that went and grinded and got that weapon.
Yeah.
Especially imagine if you just got it like 2 months ago, and then
Hmm.
it's like, yeah, we're gonna vault that.
Right.
Like that sucks, man.
Right. I get vaulting stuff like maybe skins. Like if like when Fortnite vaults skins or guns, that doesn't like game break stuff because you didn't pay to get the Tommy gun, you know?
Hmm.
But like in Destiny, you technically have like bought the game and pay to get this stuff, and now it's gone. Like
And
so, I
actually
don't
spend
think.
time yourself to
Yeah,
go and get
right.
it.
I didn't just drop into a map, pick it up, like oh, I got it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really big slap in the face of gamers, and like, okay, we're just gonna take content away and give you content that like, yeah, it's really cool. Maybe like Bobby, who's 18, didn't play Destiny 1, is like, oh, Vault of Glass is sick, but like that's
But
not
then
what I
just go
want.
buy Destiny 1.
Yeah, or just add it in the game anyway. Just
Yeah.
put Vault of Glass in as a separate raid. Like my favorite raid and the only one I've completed, which is probably why it's my favorite, is
The Leviathan.
Leviathan. Yeah, there you go. I was trying to say Callus. Leviathan, and I actually grinded that for probably cumulatively a day.
Yeah. And guess what? Guess where that raid's going? It's in the
Gone.
vault. It's sunsetted. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least for now.
Yeah. So we could probably spend a whole nother hour shitting on
Yeah.
D2. But like, I think I agree with you. I think
I'm sorry I bring it up so many
oh,
times.
dude,
It's
I
such a
want to
good
talk about it
example.
more. I think we should play it sometime and then talk about it again.
We could, yeah.
I'll download it and it'll probably be done by the end of this podcast. I agree with you. To wrap that up, I think when a game developer takes stuff out and gives you old content or like content that's worse,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, pay for it now. No.
Yeah, they're padding a bunch of gameplay and they're padding a bunch of environments with old stuff that we've already played, and that wouldn't be acceptable.
No.
There's some series like that can pull it off, like Pokemon, like kind of that 8 gym get to the Elite Four.
Yeah.
Like so. Yeah, so like that can work out sometimes, but the mechanics of the game have to be so diverse each time. Whereas with Destiny, there's not too much. I mean, you're still working with 3 subclasses, just like you did in Destiny 1, and there's so many things that are so similar that I don't know how you can say Vault of Glass is new content.
It's not.
I don't get that.
I don't care how good the graphics are or if they've added new gear to it. I don't care. It's not. Even if they add a new boss, that boss itself is new content. The raid's not.
And if they do add new stuff to it, is it really Vault of Glass anymore?
No.
See, like that's the problem with this gray area stuff. It's like if you really want to play Vault of Glass, maybe I'm a boomer, but if you want to go play it right now on D1.
D1 was great, man. It was so fun. I played that for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think, game developers, when they do crap like that, it sucks. But like to kind of switch to like, what's a good remaster? Like, what do you think? Can you think of a game recently that's been remastered that's good?
The Resident Evil series, when they remade Resident Evil 2, especially number 2,
mm-hmm.
I watched so much stuff on like Twitch and YouTube, and like it looks so good. And again, they didn't like take stuff out and put junk in. they took the stuff out that sucked, like the really awkward camera angles, and made it just way more fluid and made it so much, like even for consoles running it at 60 FPS, you could look around the corner, you could see that weird guy that's running around. I think he was kind of controversial, like that guy that follows you around in Resident Evil.
I don't know I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name. I never
Yeah.
played Resident Evil.
Yeah. Other than that, it's a really good remaster, and it worked on nostalgia well, and it made sure that it wasn't the same game. It was just it was a way better version of the game before. And I would say Resident Evil is nailing it in that regard. So they should keep it up. I don't know if they'll ever do a Resident Evil 4 remake, like not just a port to GameCube or like a port to PS5, but like an actual remaster. That'd be pretty cool.
I did not. I played Resident Evil 5. I played the smallest amount of Resident Evil 5, and I thought it was a trash game, and I never played it again.
It was kind of trashy.
Yep.
That's when it kind of, it started turning into action games instead of like survival horror. So.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's I mean, and that's nostalgia. It's being used well there. It's not repackaging old stuff. It's actually improving on what was already there and bringing people back to the memories that they experienced when they were peeing their pants as a kid trying to play it on a PlayStation 1.
Oh, I can't even imagine. Well, I think that kind of wraps up that topic, but that's nostalgia. Like we both have nostalgia games we love, and will always love, and we might touch on one a little bit. But like game developers do really shady things when it comes to nostalgia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they can use it well, like I would say WoW did and Resident Evil did, or they can use it like Destiny did, or Call of Duty at times. Not all the time, but Call of Duty can, like you said, making maps that are just completely the same. Try to put it in a different meta, it doesn't quite work the same, and now you kind of ruined a classic map just because you didn't want to add more maps to the map pool,
which is just lackluster.
Yeah, you shouldn't be paying more to replay something that's inferior to its predecessor.
No.
Okay. So pricing on the Xbox Series X. What did you think? Now, again, this is a leak, so it's not for sure, but most likely we're looking at 600 US.
Yeah, actually, 600 US. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I had to say. I was going to ask you, so like 600 US, are you in, Nick, or what?
No, I'm not. Here's the funny thing, actually. So Dakota, who I talk about every time we do this, he texted me a photo of it. He's like, dude, $600 for the Xbox Series X. And I was like, Canadian? Like, I'm in. Like, I'll pre-order now. And he's like, no, it's American. And I was like, I'm out. Goodbye.
Because that'll probably be 700 for us retail.
It's actually, as of right now, on this is September 3rd. At 8:20 p.m., it is $787.07 if it's 600 flat. So $800.
What's the exchange rate? Is it around like 33% then?
1.31 right now. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
So
that is way worse. Yeah. I was thinking around 700, but if it's if it's almost 800, forget it, dude.
And that's just the exchange rate. You're still paying tax on that.
Yeah.
You're still paying tax on that. You're honestly, if you're me, you're probably buying a second controller. So like, the girlfriend and I can play like Portal, Minecraft, switching games, like. So you're probably looking
play a bunch of old games because they don't have any exclusives.
Exactly.
Imagine buying a console for almost 800 Canadian, and then you have no exclusives.
Hey, don't worry, Halo Infinite's coming.
Oh yeah.
So I think realistically, you're probably looking at $900. I think with taxes plus an extra controller, maybe almost $1,000. Which like. I get it. Like it's like a PC in a box. Like I get that. It's super cool. I don't need a PC. If I wanted a PC, I would buy a PC.
And you could probably buy a PC like for $1,000. You could get a pretty good PC.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could probably get some with 16 gigs of RAM with a 1080 TX. Like you could probably get something pretty nice.
Something nice, right? So I'm just like, I mean, will I get one eventually? Probably. Am I getting one when it launches? No, I was putting money away for it, and I saw that, and I was like, "This money's going to something else. I can't do this." What about you?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, dude. I'm so sick of waiting for Halo. I know they need to finish it and do it the way they need to, but if the Series X is not launching with a Halo game, I'm out, dude. I'm out. And if Infinite is totally optimized for the Series X and it looks amazing. And let's say they launch it probably spring of 2021, hopefully.
I'll
think about it. But like even still, I have an X, and if I want to play Halo Infinite, like even like I hope they have different settings so you can like alter what
Yeah.
you want. Like if you want a higher frame rate or if you want more graphic fidelity, you can kind of pick. I hope it's done like that. They better have an FOV slider for Pete's sake. I'll play it on my X, and I won't go and spend
No.
$1,000 on the full package Series X. Is probably what's going to happen.
The only way I upgrade, it's like I have an original Xbox One that came out. Like I got the one when it came out with 1 TB, like pretty much right away. So if that broke, the only way I would go and buy a new one is I'd wait out. Okay, like if I have to buy a brand new console for some strange reason, I'll probably spend the extra money and upgrade because like it makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But like that's the only physical way.
But that would mean not having a console and getting a console.
Yes, exactly.
Instead of where we're at right now, where we have consoles, and it's like, do you really want something that's going to play old games that we could play right now?
Exactly. But here, I'll flip this up. I'll change this a little bit. So the PS5, again, price isn't launched, but I'm looking at some articles, and people they're saying, this one on Android Authority is saying, PS5 hasn't been revealed yet. The widespread speculation is it'll be $499 US, which translates to, and that's for the one with the disc drive. If you're looking at the digital edition, people are thinking like $449.
Yeah.
So you're looking at $655 for PS5. So it's still pricey, but
it's still so much. But like,
that's $200 difference.
Yeah, like that's gonna be if that's true, that's gonna be a killer for Microsoft, dude.
Yeah, because like PS5 has killer exclusives, like phenomenal exclusives.
Yeah,
I'm just sucking the teat of PlayStation over here. They got killer exclusives, and
that's why we wear PlayStation stuff, even though we own Xboxes and play it. I guess you own a PS4, so
I do.
But I think PlayStation's gonna win this generation again.
Too.
And it's not just like a feeling in my gut. It's more like I'm just looking at the statistics, and I know how it launched with the Xbox One, and it was all about media entertainment. And I'm just worried that the Xbox Series X is all about power and all this stuff when PS4 or PS5 is going to be like, hey, we're almost as powerful. We have a ton more exclusive, and we're like $150 less.
Yep.
That's what parents are going to buy their kids, man. That's the problem. They're going to get the Wi-Fi router, and they're going to be like, that is the most expensive mini fridge. I'm not buying that.
No. Here's a question. Which do you like better looks-wise? It's a quick side question.
I'm biased, but I mean, the Series X, I like green. The green glow looks so sick. But
I actually like the PS5 better. I'm looking at them side by side right now. Something about it, I like that sleek design.
I will award Sony. It looks like they actually were like, hey, let's make something that looks totally different from what we've made before. Yeah. So I'll applaud them that. Some people don't like that it looks so different, but I think it's kind of cool. Like you may as well make it look different so it stands out.
I do like both though.
Yeah.
So yeah. Dude, and so yeah, that's the pricing. I'm out.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Are you in on a console like this, or are you just gonna wait it out and live with an Xbox One, or live with a PS4, or are you just gonna snap and buy a PS5, or snap and buy a Series X? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, tell us because we want to know.
Yeah.
Normally I link articles. I haven't found a credible article that links the pricing, so we're just kind of. We're speculating because they're leaks, so I'm not going to link anything in the description. But
yeah, there's a couple of good places you can go. Game Ranks on YouTube, as well as What Culture Gaming. You can find
out probably has it.
Yeah. So there's lots of resources if you do want to know more about the leaks and kind of their origin. One of the leaks was apparently for a retail store, and they were like, "Oh, like this is the price we're supposed to sell it for, and this is the release date." So there is some truth to it. It's just you just got to look a little bit further. Put your tinfoil hats on.
Let's go.
Go find that stuff.
And finally, it brings us to the end of our segments. We want to tease next week what we're talking about. But I also want to spend probably 5 minutes talking about it because it's nostalgic. But really quickly, next week we're going to tease the new COD. We're going to talk about the new COD because the single player trailer is out. It's been revealed, but the multiplayer trailer drops on the 9th, which is a week from yesterday. So it'll be fresh. Like when we do it, it'll be fresh.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's gonna be sick. So next week I think we'll be talking about COD and what we think about it. But
and Nick actually was talking about it before, and honestly, I guess I've been just lazy. I've been sick. I'm just dumb. I haven't got around to watching the trailer myself, which is absurd. But he was like, yeah, it's actually a sequel to Black Ops. And I'm like, oh, like a direct sequel. He's like, yeah, with Mason and Woods. And I'm like, oh, like really? And it starts naming off, it's Cold War era, you're in
Mhm.
Vietnam. And I'm like, okay, I'm buying it. Like, even if the multiplayer sucks, like, it's still, I want to know the story. I think Black Ops was so cool, the big twist at the end. So I'm probably in. If Halo Infinite's not coming out, screw you, 343. I'm going to spend my money on
Activision.
Activision. Yeah, sadly.
Yeah, it's for us. It's nostalgic because even if it is a direct sequel, so it's like similar, but Mason Woods, doesn't say Bowen, but Mason Woods and Hudson are all back. Like that's big time for us. Like we love Black Ops 1. We've talked about it a lot. So for this to be pretty much direct, direct sequel, not even pretty much, it is a direct sequel according to the trailer bio.
Mm-hmm. I'd be way more excited for this than Modern Warfare.
Oh, I've said it again many times. I don't buy Call of Duty. I get them as a gift because it was going to be my birthday. I will physically buy this game. I will.
Your first COD.
My first. I haven't bought COD literally. I don't think I bought COD since like Infinite Warfare or Advanced Warfare. I bought them I probably haven't bought the last 5.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, I'm probably gonna get it. Like, I should look at the trailer, but like, I want to get hyped about something because I'm always bitching, man. I'm always like, oh, this game is gonna come out and it doesn't. Like, Destiny. Oh, Destiny's gonna sunset and stuff. Like, I just want to get hyped about something that doesn't suck, So maybe this is my break. Maybe I got to be a COD kid and just leave Halo on the shelf just for a little bit.
That's where the gaming YouTube channel started. Sunset it, forget about it, whip it in the wastebasket.
Yeah.
So next week, that's what we're talking about. I do know it's going to take up 105 gigs. I saw that confirmed from a developer.
Thanks for compressing the files. Jeez.
Yeah, right. But Warzone's going to carry over, so it's probably the size. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
So
thanks so much for watching, you guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channels. It's so cool if you're checking it out and get something out of this. So let us know in the comments below about the Xbox Series X and the PS5. And hopefully we'll see you next week when we talk about COD. And Nick's going to probably bring tons of research to the table.
I'm going to research the shit out of this one.
Let us know all about Call of Duty Cold War.
All right. Peace.
Peace out.